All right, let's show you what it comes with and then what each of these wiring do. It is a very, very straightforward process. One of the easiest installs we have done on this screen. So first of all, if you just have the regular AMD cars or Intel car, and you have, when you reach underneath your back area here, you see that there is a blue plug right there, then all you're gonna need is this much of the wiring. So what this does is, this is the OBD wiring, and you just bypass this down there. I'll show you how to do that. You take this other plug and simply connect it to this plug on the screen, and that's it. That's the entire installation. Super easy. This is just so you can tap that 12-volt connection. I'll show you where to tap that. But that's it. That's super easy. If you have one of those, if you look underneath and if you see one of those plugs, then that is everything you need. Now, there are some cars like the standard range Model Ys that are built in Austin or Shanghai that when you look underneath there, you're not gonna see that plug. So first check if you have that plug or not before ordering it, if you're gonna order that. Then if you have one of those cars, then you get this wiring. You have to select it, that you don't have the AMD interface. Then they give you this wiring, and what it is we take it to all the way to the front door pillar. I'll show you where to make that connection on the front, but you just plug this into the front, you route this cable all the way to the back, and then you take this and you plug it into the screen here. This then needs to be bypassed on the 12 volt in the back, and I'll show you where that 12 volt is right here. You're gonna have to bypass this so you get power, because the front connection does not have power, so you're gonna need power from the back, and that's the extra step that you're gonna have, but you still get this even if you don't see that plug down there. Then this is a seat control module, but you no longer need this wiring, so that is amazing. Definitely a step in the right direction. They figured it out with software. They can control the seats, the front passenger seat, without needing that wiring, which is pain in the butt to do. So made it super simple for this install. And so, as I said, the installation process is you remove the bottom part, you remove this piece, you connect this OBD in the bottom, you route the cable all the way to the front through there, and then connect it here. You replace that unit with this unit, and you're done. Just take the pry tool that they sent with the kit and then pry open this area in the back. And it's a super simple panel. As you see, it just comes right out, and you just remove this here and you expose this blue plug. Next, you're gonna reach up top here and simply pull on this unit. If you look at it, it comes out really easily. There's just a couple of clips that are holding this in place, and super easy, no issues here. Now we got to remove this plug right here. Now to remove this clip, if you have the AMD Model 3s or Ys, you just have to lift this up and then pull this out. If you look at it, this just lifts, and then while lifting this, you pull it out, and that's it. So super easy, you just have to do that. If you have the older Model 3s, this is something where you're going to pinch it in the middle tab here and then pull it out. For newer AMD ones, you just have that type of a lift. Now, as I said earlier, if you look down here and you see this blue plug, you're not gonna have all of this extra stuff because I added a bunch of other accessories to the back port. With this plug here, all you have to do is press on this middle tab right there, the male part that is connected, and while holding this down, pull the connector out. So now you don't have any connector there. You're gonna take this connector and simply slide the male end to the blue port. Now you can take whatever male port that you have. Like this is the Tesla's one, the blue male port. I have since then added a whole bunch of accessory and daisy chained everything. If you look at it, Tesla's male, the new accessories female, the new accessories male, and other accessories female. So you're gonna get the male component of the last accessory you added here, and you're simply going to take it and then connect this together. Now everything is happy. Tesla is happy, all the other accessories are happy, and then your screen is gonna be happy. So that's how you do the bypass. Now let me show you how to do the process for cars that don't have this plug. Now this step is only if you don't have that plug in the back. What you do is you take this harness that came with the kit, and we need to plug this blue plug right there on the female port of the Tesla. First, you remove the side door trim panel here. It's super easy, you just use a pry tool and remove it. Then you're going to be removing this side panel. It's again, just a pry tool, remove it. Then you're gonna be removing this weather stripping so it becomes easier to do the install. Next, you're gonna take a pry tool and remove a plastic fastener from inside here. After that, you're able to just remove this entire side panel super easily, just some clips. Then you're gonna take your pry tool and again remove this little plastic fastener on the carpet. After that, you're going to reach underneath there and you're going to see there is a blue female port, and you're simply going to take the blue male port and insert it in. After making the connection, you're just going to take the wire. You can kind of snug it around here, from there through the gap, and you're going to take it all the way to the back. So it's just a wire routing process. Now our goal is to just fish this cable to the top here, and there is enough opening on the side where you don't have to remove this. The manufacturer shows that you need to remove this. You don't have to remove it. So what you do is actually fish this cable from the edge here and just push this up, and you'll be able to see it from the top to be able to just pull that cable out. So if you reach under, you're gonna be able to see that. You are able to completely take this out. Now this is where the installation is gonna be slightly different between the two methods that you install. So if you had the OBD plug, the blue OBD plug in the bottom here, and then you just routed this to the top, then you're not going to be needing this plug because this plug already comes with power. So all you have to do is actually put this away, but before you do that, you take this little connector that they send and you just insert it. It comes with the pins. You just insert it here, it clicks. You want to do this because without this, you're not going to get any power on the front, the USB ports or the front wireless charger. So you want to make sure that you tap it up. If you did the connection where you just routed this cable from the bottom, not from the front. Now, if you did route the cable all the way from the front, meaning you have one of those cars that don't have the blue plug down there, then what you're gonna do is actually use the connector. This is the same connector that you routed from the front, and you are going to bypass this. So meaning you're just going to plug in right here. So once you plug this in, now your installation is going to go through just because this has 12 volt power. That way you satisfy the requirement so that the front USBs as well as the wireless charger is working, as well as now you have power for your screen. So that's the difference. Now everything else is the same after this step, because whether you routed the cable from the front or just from the bottom, this is the exact same connector that plugs into the screen. Because our Model Y does have that blue plug, all we're gonna do is put this in and then kind of tuck it away somewhere down here. So it is tucked away. And then what we're gonna do is simply take this plug that we routed from the bottom, align it with the plug from the new screen, and you can't get this wrong because it needs to fit snug right there. Then what we're gonna do is check to make sure it powers on, and it does, so we are golden. And now all we have to do is fit this in right here, find the ports, and then just put this in. So right here, we're aligning it and secure it in this place. We're done. This is installed and this is snug and secured. We're good to go. So we went from this to that. I think that looks pretty cool.